Intro music begins, evocative and inspiring. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're not just talking about a cricketer, we're talking about an artist, a magician, a man who turned the 22 yards of a cricket pitch into his personal canvas. We're talking about the Prince of Trinidad, the one and only Brian Charles Lara. When you think of the most elegant batsman to ever grace the game, who comes to mind? For millions, that name is Lara. It wasn't just about the runs he scored, though he scored a mountain of them. It was about how he scored them. That high back lift, the whip of the wrists, the almost balletic footwork. It was pure poetry in motion. Watching Lara bat was an experience. It was like listening to a virtuoso play a violin. Every shot was a note, perfectly timed, perfectly placed, creating a symphony of cricketing brilliance. Let's journey back to 1994. A young Brian Lara, already making waves, walked out to bat against England in Antigua. The world watched, but no one could have predicted what was about to unfold. Day after day, he batted with unwavering concentration and that signature flair. The score kept ticking over. 100, 200, 300. He surpassed Sir Garfield Sober's long-standing record of 365. The crowd was electric. History was being made. He finally raised his bat for a monumental 375, a world record. A statement to the world that a new king had arrived. But here's what makes Lara's story so incredible. Most players would be content with one such peak. But Lara was different. 10 years later, in 2004, his record was broken by Matthew Hayden. What did Lara do? Just a few months later, on the very same ground in Antigua, against the very same opposition, England, he decided he wanted his record back. This wasn't just a quest for a record. It was a testament to his resilience, his genius, and his sheer determination. He batted for nearly 13 hours. He faced 582 deliveries. And he did the unthinkable. He became the first and only batsman in the history of Test cricket to score 400 runs in a single innings. 400, not out. It's a feat so monumental, it almost sounds like fiction. A record that stands tall to this day, a towering monument to his greatness. And it wasn't just about the big scores. Remember that famous 153 not out against Australia in 1999? Chasing 308 for victory against one of the greatest bowling attacks ever assembled McGrath, Gillespie, and a young Shane Warne. The West Indies were collapsing, 9 wickets down. But Lara stood firm. He single-handedly steered his team to an impossible 1-wicket victory. Wisden, the Bible of cricket, called it the second greatest Test innings ever played. It wasn't just a match-winning knock. It was a masterclass in courage, skill, and batting under pressure. His flair wasn't just for Test cricket. In the one-day format, he was equally devastating, able to dismantle any bowling attack with his audacious stroke play. He could find gaps in the field that didn't seem to exist. The cover drive, the late cut, the pull shot. Every weapon was in his arsenal, and he wielded them with an elegance that was simply unmatched. He wasn't a power hitter in the modern sense. He was a timer of the ball. His power came from his grace, his timing, and his incredible hand-eye coordination. For a generation of fans, Brian Lara was more than a cricketer. He was the hope of West Indian cricket, carrying the weight of an entire legacy on his shoulders. Through the team's highs and lows, his bat was the one constant source of magic and brilliance. He inspired millions, not just in the Caribbean, but across the globe, to pick up a bat and try to emulate that beautiful, flowing style. Years have passed since he hung up his boots, but the legend of Brian Lara hasn't faded. It lives on in the highlights we rewatch, in the stories we tell, and in the whisper that goes through the crowd whenever a new left-hander shows a hint of that familiar elegance. He showed the world that cricket could be more than just a sport. It could be an art form. He wasn't just a batsman. He was an artist. His bat was his brush, and the cricket field was his canvas. And the masterpieces he created will be admired for centuries to come. The sound of leather on his willow was a sound that will forever echo through the halls of cricket history. What's your favorite Brian Lara moment? That 400 not out? The 153 against Australia? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to read your memories of the Prince. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories from the world of sport. See you in the next one.